Talk about one of the most disturbing animations I've ever seen. Such a boring subject, but it pays the bills. Sideways, a hilarious little movie about alcoholism and wine in the Sonoma Valley.
Gonna want some cheese, Gromit? Oh no!
Well, I didn't do anything unwanted. I've earned everything I've got.
Hey man, 'cause you know what? I'm Spike Spiegel.
Talk about a lot of sexual objectification of women's underwear. Yeah, man, 'cause you know my mind's ill there, black. Mess with these pussy holes. Bus wankers.
The whores and politicians will look up and shout, "Save us," and I'll whisper, "No."
Jean-Marie Le Pen's favourite movie, or one of his worst? Not porno. I mean, it's got a 15 certificate. It's just an adaptation of a Michel Houellebecq novel. The Elementary Particles. Choose life. Choose a career. Choose a job. Choose everything. Choose fuck all. Choose hentai. Go! Oh no, if I was a giant sucker for watch this movie in the cinema, it's pussy. Yeah, I'm a child. Look at me, pussy old blood. But I'm now like a spy film, like James Bond in here, you fucking mug. To infinity and beyond. Again. Let's start out with the first one. Oh no, Buzz! Hey, it's not gambling when you know you're gonna win. Look at me, I got the big beard. I did it before Nick Offerman did. Adult Swim, but Japanese. Cunt, you fucking mug, you little soppy cunt. And remember, the 5th of November.
And watching Tom Wilkinson go paranoid about this political conspiracy as related to legal fun putting chemicals in the water. The time is now.
You like boo-boos? I like boo-boos too. I made a movie about time. It's going to my bottle restaurant. In the Temple Village, we are all free. Let's try listening to my old Wu-Tang Clan songs. Purge and purify, purge and purify. You know, we give it out to the public because you know it's like, it's awe-inspiring stuff. Cold turkey doesn't even apply to Substance D. That's Robert Downey Jr.'s best film, by the way. Better than Oppenheimer, better than Iron Man, better than all that shit. And speaking of shit, yeah, man!
Hey, I'm McLovin. With these two bows, including the guy from American Pie. How typical of a 15 movie.
Falling like a bomb. You see, life's without distractions. Every time I just try to go up, I keep falling down. That's his second best movie he's done outside of Joker. Take my word for it. If I won't get stopped by customs just for having a DVD cover that looks like he's smoking a joint. Afro press bugs everywhere. That was one of my favourite films when I was a child, but I also like Ants as well. I see both as equals. Yes, I'm going to be cancelled for liking the It Crowd, but particularly because it's got a guy who sort of looks like me. Oh, you don't see his face, but Rich Iowade, you know.
I almost not like the guy who sounds a lot like me because he's a bit needy. He's not obsessed with the computer.
Get off my lawn. One of the great vigilante films. Anyone who's fans of The Simpsons should definitely check this out. This is from the same people who've done Shrek and Ants and Shark Tale. Absolutely hilarious. We're not going to explain too much about that one. What a babe. Until she got high off the heroin. Oh, God, there's source pornography in the house. Oh, you're in trouble there, lad. Think of Carry On, but somehow managed to pass with a PG of all things. That DVD cover frightened me when I was a child, but I'm not going to go into too much depth about that one for the same reasons I won't go on about this. Yes, For all you Joe Rogan fans out there, I like what Michael Moore has done. So fuck off. Oh, what's going on? Oh, no, no. Oh, village me bought by them bloody Londoners. So I'm change for you. We'll skip that one. One of the first 12 films I ever saw when I was a child in the cinema. And I think in my whole life. This was even a little bit before Nutty Professor 1 and 2. I have good memories of Wild Wild West. Good memories. Shut Up Crime. That's one of my favourite all-time superhero films. James Gunn, he's not that great, but this is a masterpiece. As is this, one of the best adult animated films out there. Once you see that shit, it'll fuck you up for life. Good luck, have fun. Or we're gonna collect the bank and watch Clive Owen do sort of James Bond sort of thing, but mixed with a Parallax view. Did you know he's from Coventry? Czech animation, not for children, but visually stunning, and you could relate to it, especially if he deals with loneliness. What the baby? Has just got this done. England, World Champions, 2016. No, it says 2016. Well, because that's got 6 for 3, so who's the idiot? Unless you hear me speak my voice, because I'm also Mark Strong, who does the voiceovers on some of the Think Hands, and also for the British Heart Foundation. I wanna hold these anime women tight, cause I had those teenage kicks when I first saw it at 14. Oh yeah! That's a reference to the Undertones, John Peel's favourite song. I'm not going to explain that one as well. I'm not going to explain that one. Well, that one's an 18 or 15. That's a PG animation, but you wouldn't know just because it deals with assassins. Probably should be a bit higher. No, I don't have yellow fever. I'm just curious why I need to have a DVD that has the word sex in the title. Great Turkish film, Uzark. If you haven't seen it, take my word for it. It is wonderful movie about loneliness. It's not Erdogan produced or supportive. Then welcome. DVDs. Welcome in It's one of my favourite French films. Unfortunately, I couldn't get Belleville Rendezvous anywhere, so I thankfully got this on my trips to France. Rien de Clare. You can't find that in the UK or the US, but it's a great movie about the Franco-Belgian border. Let me sit down with you for a second. It's from the same guy who done Stay. Imagine if Coraline or Matilda was a bit more dark and had more drugs. You'd get Tideland. Watching that guy who wants to beat people a crowbar because they're black and they raped and white. Did you know he played Alfred Kinsey in a particular film? And I must have got it for the DVD cover because it said, let's talk about sex. And he will find you and he will kill you. On the great French action films, if you haven't seen it, better than any of Luc Besson's stuff. A boss like that. Can we get away mine? Clay David. You need to know about why it goes. Chamon. That's me, Yvonne again. I'm also that lady familiar with Seep, but instead of watching her being assaulted, at least I get to fuck her while I'm shooting a bunch of bad guys. Because I'm Clive Owen and I'm from Coventry. Alright, you gotta watch an NC-17 movie with Matt McConaughey. I forced a woman to suck on my chicken drumstick, and by God, that's disturbing. If you're a Bible Belter, of course. Yeah. These two are quite rare to find. British adult animation is sort of every once in a blue moon, but every now and again you get great ones, particularly like I Am Not an Animal, which also has Steve Coogan voicing a horse. think it's a bit posh. I wouldn't know about cornflakes. Oh no, not that one. Why would I read about sugar puffs? The same animation style as Angela's Anaconda. Take my word for it. I am the gay fashionista named Bruno from Austria. Ich bin ein crazy, ja. Couldn't watch it as this a kid, but always wanted to see Bride of Chucky, so I had to get the DVD for it because there's an element of nostalgia about it. And also, the early Chucky films before they brought it back in 2013 were quite brilliant. Bride, Seed, Child's Play 1 and 2. Child's Play 3 is certainly not better than Curse and Cult. I just like the DVD cover, and I remember seeing this at Love Film many years ago. Can't go wrong with Metrodome. They distributed Help I'm a Fish and the Corporation. This is also another great animated film for mature audiences. As you can see, you can't let them see it. So, like those hentai titles there, you can't let them watch Walter Bashir. Or this. For some reason, that makes me all giddy, but just as a word of warning, this is not some sort of pro-Israel screed. It's actually quite critical of Israel's military-industrial complex without, saying from the river to the sea, if you know what I mean. I like the soundtrack, and I also like the look of the DVD cover. But in all honesty, it's actually not an 18 film. It's actually a 15 film. They just rated it higher for no apparent reason, really, but that's another story. I mainly saw this one because they played Babylon Zoo's Spaceman on the teaser. I have very fond memories of that particular song. I always wanted you to know that you are Spaceman. And also, it was hilarious. We're watching Anton Denham take Geordies pulling on the back of their bound. It's a 12. It both got a little bit of nudity and a bit of the old F word. Day 52 p.m. Now, talk about disturbing. That movie gave me nightmares. Let's swap these two. Maybe put this with this. Or both should be 18. I feel that way about Redacted. Fucking hell, that was nasty. But it tells you a lot about how America views the Middle East. Shouldn't have gone to Iraq. Now, that's a great vigilante film, starring, weirdly enough, every pedophile's favourite actress, and John Hinckley Jr. But this is different. This, Taxi Driver, but with a more sort of feminist angle. It's not a rape revenge film, but it's something completely different. The greatest film, one of the greatest films ever made, at least number 5 or number 4 on my list. Commandos, turn up. And remember, are you scared? We're all scared. You have to be crazy not to be scared. Okay, you know what, in Australia, you gotta remember these one few things. Now listen to me, you abo cunt. This is not your country. Had to get that one so that way some far-right nutter doesn't try getting in his own hands and radicalises himself with watching that bloody old film. Plus I like controversy, so I thrive on it. I already said about this one, mainly because I'm in it. Hilarious. If you've seen Football Factory, take my word for it. It's an absolute crack-up. I actually know the filmmaker who made this. Just like with Shoot 'Em Up, I interviewed them on the YouTube channel. So I got this one in case if there's the opportunity I meet MJ Bassett and, she can sign and do an autograph of this particular title. Unfortunately, it sort of has a bit of a curse to it because this bloke right here is now a right-wing cunt who doesn't know when to shut up. So we're not going to show his face, but we'll show Jamie Bell and Andy Serkis, who is now known for calling him Give Me the Precious. Well, it's obvious why I got this one. It's on the tube, and it's got a sticker that says 18. There's nothing quite like it. I've never seen a sticker like that on any sort of DVD whatsoever. Everything's awesome. Also one of the first films I ever reviewed for in a newspaper. I was at university. We'll skip that one. Another great animation I remember when I saw I was like 14. Gilgamesh, they had it on Rockworld TV, I believe. It makes me nostalgic. Same with like Cromarty High School. That made me nostalgic. People Under the Stairs. If you thought Get Out was too woke, well, you haven't seen this one either. Wes Craven. We need more woke horror. It shouldn't be a bad thing. Bus wankers again, and another film that's so disturbing, you might want to commit suicide after seeing it. I mean, creepy is what I'll say. Fucking creepy. On to the other side. If my legs don't play out. It's a bit dark, but hopefully you can still see. It's Alan Partridge. Oh, I got from the mirror. Oh, Taco Bell. Hinchurito Macho Burrito. That's one of the funniest martial arts films I've ever seen outside of Rush Hour and The Tuxedo. Alan Partridge again. It's always making me laugh. And now, the word is Johnny in English. You'll find that this is the most secure location in the whole of England. Don't forget about Mr. Bean. Got that underage, and I am not ashamed to say it. No excuse to watch full-blown nudity and gory scenes when your hormones are all that high. Don't make me sing Undertones. One of my favourite sports films outside Space Jam, Happy Gilmore. I could always watch it again and again and again. Required viewing for anyone. That's actually one of the first DVDs I ever owned, was Finding Nemo. Although at that time, everything I owned was more or less VHS. Got that as a gift from a family member. Most of the earliest DVDs I owned were mostly imports from Region 1 I got from American family members. Yeah, I got that one particularly because I didn't want anyone else to have it. Because, obviously it's a right-wing extremist propaganda piece, even though it's warning about the perils of joining sort of far-right fascist groups. This is, sort of a right-wing film in its own way, but it's an old-school vigilante film that sort of harkens back to stuff like Get Carter. One of Michael Caine's best films before he started retiring quite recently. I remember seeing this on the plane many years ago, and this film deeply unsettled me. But I was so curious to see why it was about some guy hanging people. I had to see what was this strange movie with people being hung by nooses. And I didn't even know what the word lynching meant. And sort of watch people being hung, but talk about disturbing, but powerful. For people who thought Joker wasn't enough, or Taxi Driver, or Falling Down, they really need to see the assassination of Richard Nixon, which isn't what you think it is. It's essentially about a broken man who feels like he's lost everything and now wants to take all of his issues against the world. One of the first CDs I ever owned. I will never let this go away with me. This means so much to me. If I lost that, I'll start crying. It's also one of the first pieces of music media I ever owned as a child. So I have such a great memory of Eminem's Musical Magic. It's just one of the first anime DVDs I ever got. I got Amoeba Records many years ago. Anime. Mostly we used to watch it mainly to get kicks out of the attractive woman on these Japanese cartoons. I mean, damn. They could be real fit. Absolutely hilarious. If you are a teenager or a young adult and you haven't seen Kevin and Perry and Go Large, please do. I'm not your slave! Yeah, I'm dead now. Yeah. Oh no, Sally! Hey, you can make weird faces, honey. I feel like the maid. I just clean up this mess. Can we keep it clean for 10 minutes? I'm a little fish in the deep blue sea, with Alan Rickman doing the voice. And it's from Metrodome, who used to do some great films for distributing reasons. Hey, it's watching Jerry Seinfeld talk like a bug. It's like ants, but even more funnier. It's all sort of weird Jewish klutzy humor where he tries to flirt with a human. Oh my god, it's insane! I haven't even seen an episode of Seinfeld, but wow! Would you like to look at my sausages? Won't you eat my sausages? Sausage. I thought it was weird, so I had to get it at a charity shop in Margate. I just thought, go on. Talk about a film that scared me when I was a child. Even though the girl in it reminded me a lot of the girl that I dated at the time. Carly was her name, so I got this mainly because of her. Watching this movie reminded me of Carly, but also reminded me of my nightmares of abusive and violent headmistresses and school staff. Ugh. One of the greatest action films ever made, outside Small Soldiers and The Raid, is a power-packing Russian, but not pro-Putin action movie completely filmed on POV. Think Smack My Bitch Up will enter the void, but more interesting. I'll tell you that right now. It would. One of my favourite films when I was a child. I can't even watch it a lot because I start crying. Yeah, what do you see? You know what I'm saying? Yeah, because I'm being funny, you know, even I'm not trying to do an Edward G. Robinson impersonation. It's me just talking about hookers and blowjabs. Yeah. Take it out on the board. Yeah. The triangle of blessed memories, but great sadness. Great sadness. We're going to skip that one. Just got it for shock reasons. I mean, never owned porn before until this and those Darkness cartoons. And if you count Excel Saga as porn, then be my guest. This is one of the greatest Japanese animations ever made outside of Daft Punk. Music video for One More Time. Gantz maybe got it for shock value, and also because I wanted to just see it was an MVM animation, which is like the competitive ADV and manga entertainment in the UK. It got an 18 certificate, so I'm like, who wouldn't want to see it? It's full of C words, graphic violence, and even bestiality and other sexual material that's quite aberrant. Speaking of aberrant, we're going to skip Elfen Lied, because that's one I keep talking about on the podcast a lot, and it's very fucking disturbing. But I mainly watched it because I was sexually attracted to the Lucy woman. I mean, isn't she gorgeous even when she's covering her womanliness? But once I saw her, I thought, fucking hell, that was not pleasant. That was disturbing. One episode, I just refused to watch it for a few weeks because I thought that done a number on my head. I thought they were going to arrest me. Thankfully, Nicholas Angel, born and schooled in London, graduated at Canterbury University with a double first in politics and sociology, attended Hendon College of Police training, received the Baton of Honour, and he graduated with a great film that was done by Edgar Wright. It's a 15 certificate and remains my favourite 15 film of all time. And also it's one of Rob Babs' favourite films as well. If you're familiar with disturbing music videos and Björk as a robot, you'll certainly love Chris Cunningham, one of the great music video filmmakers ever. Better than Jonathan Glazer and better than Spike Jonze. Alan Partridge again. "101 Reykjavik." I mainly got it because I love the DVD cover of a man sort of stuck in snow with a cigarette and looking at a Spanish lady as part of his sexual fantasies. Nostalgia. I couldn't watch it as a kid, obviously, but I have fond memories of seeing the DVD cover at places, and I was like, I need to get this one day, and I ultimately did years later, and it was worth it. The Illusionist, For the people who've done Belleville Rendezvous, you can't go wrong. Sylvain Chomet, what a great animator. I talk about adult animation as well. Now, don't be alarmed. That's the Dutch rating. They found it was fine for 12 jaren. While in Britain it's 15, in Ireland it's 18. But this is the version that's the R-rated one, from what I was told. They just recently rated the one that's completely uncut, that you see all the poop fetish stuff in the sex scene. They passed it at 18. I'm like, it's just puppets. Don't overreact, you fools. I mean, in all fairness, I would rather have 15-year-olds watch this than this, as far as animation is concerned. And that's about as much as I can tell you for this broadcast as far as DVDs are concerned. Until then, signing off.